anti-vax mother-in-law tried to cure my baby's flu with essential oils and it almost killed her. My mother-in-law is a higher up in her MLM company. She only got to her position by being a total scammer. She's insufferable to be around since all she does is try to recruit you or sell you products. She is also anti-vax and believes only in holistic medicine. She only ended up getting vaccinated because we wouldn't let her around our newborn when she was still unvaccinated. She is extremely pushy and annoying with her beliefs, but it is obvious how much she loves her granddaughter. I love my wife, she's my entire world, but her mother's presence in our life is a constant stressor. She is a pretty good babysitter, and she always volunteers to take our new baby off our hands and babysit her for a few hours so we can have a break. She has never done something like this before, so I was alright trusting her with our child until this incident. My wife and I took a weekend vacation, leaving our baby girl with our mom. Our child was totally fine the day we left, she showed no signs of sickness, and we were still checking in with my mother-in-law here and there to make sure our baby was doing fine. We spoke a couple of times each day, and my mother-in-law just kept saying that we were worrying too much and to leave her alone and enjoy our vacation. So it came as a devastating shock when my wife and I were literally waiting at the gate for our flight home, when my mother-in-law called us to tell us she was at the hospital with our baby girl. Obviously, my wife and I were panicking and kept pressing her mom for details on what the hell was going on, and if our baby was okay. I can't explain to you just how stressful this was for us. We were minutes from boarding and losing service when my mother-in-law finally decided to tell us what was going on. She explained that our baby had started to run a fever the night before, and she tried to treat her with her company's essential oils, instead of giving her normal medicine or taking her to urgent care. When she checked on the baby in the morning, she had a full body rash and was struggling to breathe. I had never been so angry at someone before in my life. I couldn't believe she would trust her company's bullshit tea over actual medicine and put our baby's life in danger like that. My wife was screaming at her mom over the phone while we boarded the plane, and we cried together out of fear and worry the entire plane ride home. It was truly the most stressful 4 hours of my entire life, and I never want to feel anxiety of that intensity again for as long as I live. When we landed, we went straight to the hospital. Our baby had been stabilized, but she was suffering from a viral infection and it broke my heart to see her hooked up to all the machines like that. I wanted to rip my mother-in-law a new one, but the moment she walked up to us and tried to give my wife a hug, my wife shoved her backward and resumed yelling at her for her mistake. As horrible as the situation was, I was honestly proud of my wife for not protecting her mom's feelings and letting her know how bad she effed up. We had her escorted out of the hospital by security, and my wife and I are spending our night here next to our poor baby girl while she recovers. I just pray to God she doesn't come out of this with lasting medical issues, and if she does I decided I'll sue my mother-in-law for everything she's got. Update: as grateful as I am that my daughter managed to survive this ordeal, my mother-in-law's stupidity has managed to permanently alter my daughter's well-being for the rest of her life. Long story short, while me and my wife were on vacation, her mom was watching our new baby girl, and when she ran a fever, she tried to cure her with essential oils that put her in the hospital in critical condition. My wife and I rushed home, and we have been at the hospital ever since while our sweet baby recovers. When we first arrived, her doctor seemed optimistic about her making a full recovery, but as time went on, she has shown very little improvement. There is a chance that this incident will leave her with lasting disabilities, and deep down, I feel like I have let my daughter down by leaving her in the care of my mother-in-law. I had already known that she was a crazy MLM extremist, but I just never thought that she would put her own granddaughter's life on the line for her own misinformed beliefs. When we arrived at the hospital and my mother-in-law approached us, I basically had to physically restrain my wife from attacking her own mother because of how upset she was. Despite this, her mom continued to try and visit us at the hospital while we were there with our daughter. We told her over and over again that we didn't want to see her and certainly didn't want her anywhere around our daughter. But after she continued to harass us, we ended up getting a temporary restraining order against her so we could have some peace from all the chaos and pain she had been causing us. It's been about a week and a half since my daughter was first admitted to the hospital, and just today, her doctor gave us a devastating update on her condition. Her doctor explained to us that she had a reaction to the essential oils that my mother-in-law had used on her, which caused her throat to close up for a small amount of time. It turns out that the lack of oxygen to her brain during that time had caused her permanent brain damage. My wife collapsed on the floor when we received this news, and all I kept telling myself was that this couldn't be happening. Our life had been so perfect since our beautiful baby girl had entered it, and I just couldn't believe that she had barely had a chance to live in her new healthy body before her own grandmother would do this to her. The doctor informed us that when she would be ready to be discharged from the hospital, we would need to start accommodating her new disabilities. He told us that some of her symptoms might manifest as muscle weakness, or even severe speech impediments. My wife and I are totally devastated, and it feels like my heart has been ripped into a million pieces. I feel like a failure of a parent, but I'm just happy we have the restraining order against her mother because I could honestly unalive that woman on the spot if I were to see her in person anytime soon.